Hello. So for today, we're going to be discussing about cat vaccines, and I promise to give you the ultimate guide into cat vaccine shots. So we have a lot to uncover today. So the first topic is going to be why? Why do cats need to be vaccinated? Then I'll tell you about the different vaccines available for you to have your cats fully vaccinated, and then the price of those vaccines. And then I'm going to be telling you what are the possible diseases that could happen if those vaccines are not given to your cats. And finally, I'll end with the vaccination schedule, like when do you have your cats vaccinated? So this is SirNicolay, and for today, we're going to be learning something new. Okay, so our topic for today, cat vaccine shots. But before I go to our main discussion, I just want to tell you about the membership program of SirNicolay Cattery. So just in case you're interested to join, there are some perks that you can have. So there are three levels: kitty kitty level, chunky cat level, and cat god level. And there are so many perks that you guys can enjoy if you join this channel's membership program. Okay, so onto the topic. Why do cats need to be vaccinated? So the thing about vaccination is that it's definitely for us to be able to have healthy cats. So that's very understandable. So we all want our cats to live with us for a very long time, and so healthy cats, very good for everyone. Okay. The other thing is that infections also happen in unexpected places. So let's say you have some cat owners also visit you, or like you take your cat to a different place, and little do you know that there are some infections that are in that place. So if your cats are not properly vaccinated, or they didn't go vaccination, so your cats might get infected, and so diseases might follow. Okay, and when your cats would get an infectious disease, the vet expense is going to be very high. And that's the reason why I feel it's very important that you become responsible in making sure that your cats are vaccinated. Okay? Whether you are a pet owner, or like a breeder, or generally a normal person who has a cat, please make sure that your cats are vaccinated. Okay? So, we're going now to be talking about what are the different types of cat vaccines. So, technically, there are only two kinds of cat vaccines, and those are the core vaccines and the non-core vaccines. So, core vaccines would mean that all cats should have them. So all cats need to be able to vaccinate these shots. While non-core are extras, so you might want to consider them if just in case you would want to have extra protection for your cats. So the non-core vaccines are available also for your vet from your vets. So what are the core cat vaccines? So the core cat vaccines are actually vaccinations that are against these three major diseases. Okay, and these three major diseases are called FPL, FVR, and FCV. Okay, so I let me just try to read these names because they're pretty long. So feline Panleukopenia, feline viral rhinotracheitis, and then the calicivirus. Okay, so they're actually the FPL, FVR, FCV, and there's an acronym that combines all of them. And the last core cat vaccine is actually for anti-rabies. Okay, so if you combine the three FPL, FVR, and FCV, so what you're going to be getting is one vaccine that combines all of them, and we call them the FVRCP. Okay, so FVRCP combines these supposedly three vaccinations into one. Okay, and let me show you what it looks like. So this is Fellow Cell 3, and Felocell 3 is against those three diseases. Okay? How much is it? The cheapest I saw online was 500 pesos, and it's valid for 1 whole year. Okay? But just in case you want something a bit better than the 3-in-1, there's also the 4-in-1 from Felocell. So they call it the Felocell 4. And this is FVRCP, so against those three diseases that I mentioned earlier, plus the feline chlamydiosis, okay, which I will discuss actually later. So this one is obviously more expensive because it's 4 instead of 3-in-1, so it's 4-in-1. Around 600 pesos to 850 pesos. It's valid for about a year. Now, how about anti-rabies vaccination? So this is an example of rabies vaccination. It's Defensor 3. It's what my vet uses. The validity of this one is 1 year. So for this vaccination, so it's around 300 pesos. Okay, but there are also some non-core cat vaccines. And the non-core cat vaccines are usually for the FELV. So this is what they call the feline leukemia virus, which I will discuss later. And also the Bordetella bacterium. So I'm going to discuss it in a short while. Okay? So in essence, the core vaccinations are what your cats really need. But the non-core cat vaccines, you might want to get them just in case you're very conscious about your cats becoming sick. So these are vaccines that your cats could have. Okay. Now, I want to actually make this very clear. Why do cats need to be vaccinated? And so for me to convince you to actually have your cats vaccinated, I'm going to tell you about those diseases that actually we are avoiding every time our cats are vaccinated. Okay? So I'll be going to be discussing actually a lot of diseases. The first three are actually the ones that are targeted by the FVRCP 3-in-1 shot or 4-in-1 shot. Okay? So the first disease that I'll be talking about is called FPL, Feline Panleukopenia. Sometimes people call it the feline distemper. This one is something that I've actually heard about because in some cat groups, people talk about the feline parvovirus. So this is actually caused by parvovirus, okay? And it's a deadly, cat disease. It's passed on by either fluids coming from the nose or the mouth. It could definitely kill kittens. And then the target is mostly white blood cells, okay? Now, how do you actually see this manifested in cats? So these are some of the signs of FPL. So by the way, these images that I'm using are from WikiHow. So you can actually Google them up if you want. Okay. So FPL can manifest in bloody diarrhea. So this is one of the symptoms. Another symptom is vomiting. So if you notice that your cat is vomiting, your cat might have a FPL. Then you have pale gums. So gums are not as reddish or pinkish. And of course, so you have the extreme lethargy or low energy in cats would be a symptom of FPL. And finally, lack of appetite. So if your cat is not eating and your cat was not vaccinated, your cat might have FPL. Okay? Now, let's look at another disease, and that is the FVR. So, FVR is feline viral rhinotracheitis. Sometimes people call it the feline herpes virus. This one is more about the upper respiratory infection in cats. Okay? So, these are some of the signs that cats who have FVR might manifest. You might see some nasal discharge, so fluid coming out of the nose, of the mouth. And then you also have a lot of sneezing and coughing from your cat. And then watery eyes also can become a part of the symptoms of FVR. And then when it comes to the gums, you will actually see some lesions or sores. So like almost like wounds inside the mouth of the cat. And same as as the one before. So you might actually see also some lack of energy and also lack of appetite. Okay, so that's a second disease the FVR. Okay. And finally, we're going to be looking at FCV. So this is the last disease that's targeted by 3-in-1 and 4-in-1 vaccination. So FCV is more about something in the mouth and also in the teeth of your cats. So what happens with this one is that it in extreme cases it can actually cause hair loss in cats, hepatitis, and even death. Okay, so these are the signs of FCV. So runny nose could be one of those signs, and then swollen eyelids. Okay, which some people are already associating with conjunctivitis. Okay, mouth ulcers are like white or yellow spots that you will find in the mouth of your cats. And when that happens, your cat might have FCV. And then limping and muscle pain also is a symptom of this. And fever as well. Okay? So cats who are, are so the cats who are suffering from any of those three diseases, so FLV, FVR, and FLC. I'm confusing my abbreviations, but those three diseases. So definitely, the 3-in-1 vaccination can help. Okay. But there are actually more diseases that could happen to our cats. And one possible disease that could happen is FCV. FCV is more in the eyes and upper respiratory tract. It could spread to the lungs and genitals and joints, and unfortunately this can be passed on to humans. If you want your cat to avoid getting FCV, so you might want to get instead the 4-in-1 vaccination for your cats. Okay, because the previous one, Felocell 3, is only does not include vaccination for this. But with the 4-in-1, so even feline chlamydiosis is also included. Okay, but then there are still more. Okay, so these are for the optional shots that your cats would probably have. Okay, so I read about the feline leukemia virus, and from what I read, your cats need to be diagnosed first with this before the vet will recommend it. Okay, and for the FELV, so it's about the cat's immune system as being compromised. It's highly contagious, and it transfers via saliva or fluids. Okay, and then there's also the Bordetella bacterium. So this one is like a something that weakens the cat's respiratory system, and the transfer is via saliva or fluids. Okay, and the last one is actually something that's a bit similar to HIV, or the human immunodeficiency virus. This one obviously targets the immune system of cats. And once your cats would have FIV, so they're exposed to other possible infections. Okay, so it's usually passed through bite wounds, and sometimes the infected mother can pass it to her kittens. Okay, now you might want to ask about rabies, because I haven't discussed it earlier. Well, when it comes to rabies, from what I've researched, it's not something that is natural to cats. Cats don't have rabies, by nature or by birth. It's something that they could just get. Okay, so that means if the cat is bitten by an animal that has rabies, so therefore your cat might actually get rabies. Okay, and the reason why some vets still recommend anti-rabies, even though obviously cats do not have rabies naturally. It's because sometimes it's prescribed by law. Some people, some places would prescribe that all pets in the house would have anti-rabies. Okay, though generally speaking, cats, strictly speaking, cats do not have rabies. Okay. Okay. So now let's talk about when do your cats need to be vaccinated exactly. Okay. So vaccination usually starts as early as 6 to 8 weeks old. But then your vet will actually tell you if the cat is prepared for it by weighing the kitten first. So generally, from my own experience, there was only one time when my vet did not, did not administer the vaccination, and that was because some of my kittens were underweight, a bit, lighter, or the kitten is slightly sick. Okay, so when that happens, the vet might want to delay the vaccination. Okay, so this is the reason why when you want to have your cat or kitten vaccinated, it is very important that your uh, your kitten or your cat is healthy. Okay, because if your kitten or cat is not healthy, what will happen is that your vet will just tell you to go back. Okay, to go back to have the vaccination rescheduled. Okay, so 6 to 8 weeks old. Then when do the succeeding vaccinations happen? So normally the second and the third round of shots will happen 3 to 4 weeks later. Okay? So again, it depends on your vet. So your vet will be the one scheduling like when the vaccinations will happen next. And then when it comes to the rabies vaccination, that usually happens by the third shot or the third shot here of the 3-in-1 or the 4-in-1. So if you're not quite sure, usually it happens around fourth month or 3.5 month of the kitten. That's when the anti-rabies will be pretty safe. Okay, and then all the other vaccinations also by the third shot, I think they can be administered as well. Okay, but what if they're already adults, okay, and the cat has already reached adulthood? If the cat is already an adult and if the adult cat never had any kind of vaccination, so the same actually will apply. So what will happen is the adult cat without previous vaccination will have to have 2 or 3 shots of the 3-in-1 or 4-in-1. Okay? So if you're quite unsure or you're 100% sure that your adult cat has not been vaccinated, so you might want to go to those, schedule those 2 or 3 visits to the vet. Okay? But if your cat has completed the vaccinations, so the only requirement is when they become adults, after 1 year, there would be maintenance boost. So the maintenance boost is basically just same Felocell 3, Felocell 4, but only one shot. Okay? And then you can have your cats also have a general checkup around that time when that vaccination happens. Okay? So generally, those are the things that I have to be discussing today. But just some final notes about this topic is that for me, one of the most important things you have to do as a responsible cat owner is you would probably want to look for a partner vet. And when I say partner vet, a vet that you could trust. So a vet that you feel would take good care of your cats. And I feel this is very important because a lot of people tend to be very cautious of vet, and sometimes people are saying, vets are very expensive, vets cannot be trusted, etc. So I'm saying that if you really want to be responsible for your cats, you will have to find a good vet for you. Okay? For me, the best vet is obviously the one closest to your house, and the best vet is somebody that you trust. Okay? So if you're able to find that kind of vet, that's great. Okay? And by the way, all vaccinations must be performed by your vet, because you cannot perform the vaccinations yourself, because having wrong dosage or like wrong method of applying the vaccination, your cat could die. And it's very important that you just let the vet do it. Okay? Next. Also very important is the idea of completing the shots. So if you remember, the 3-in-1 and the 4-in-1 would require 2 or 3 visits to the vet. So if your vet tells you 2 visits or 3 visits, just follow your vet. Okay? Make sure that your cat would complete those shots. And of course, yearly maintenance also very important. So I would strongly suggest 1 year after the last vaccination, your cat should visit the vet again, just for checkup and then for maintenance boost. Okay? So that's all we have for today. So Please subscribe to my channel, SirNicolay Cattery. And to those of you who also know, I have another channel, and that is the SirNicolay Teaches, where it's pretty much the same as SirNicolay Cattery, except that it's about not cats. So if you want me to teach you about technology, about life, I'll be doing some reviews in that YouTube channel. So anything that doesn't involve cats is it's SirNicolay Teaches. Okay? But in SirNicolay Cattery, I do have the membership program, which is very very important that you guys might want to consider, because this membership program helps the channel, particularly when it comes to me, buying snacks or featuring products for my cats, and also for reviews. And then it's also very helpful for me to be able to maintain the channel by giving you good videos, video quality, and so it's I think very generous if you would be able to become a member. Okay, so there are some perks in the membership, so you can get loyalty badges, and then custom emojis. It's only 99 pesos per month to actually join, but if you're more generous, you can actually go for the 899 pesos chunky cat level, where you can actually get early access to new videos, and then there will be live stream also every weekend. And then if you're extremely generous, you can have even more perks. So this one is very expensive. It's 6,000 pesos a month, but you can have live chat with me, and then exclusive in-video minute feature of your cat in one of my episodes. Okay? So by the way, I already have actually some members. So I have Makoy Conde and also Sir Memento Guy as a kitty member. So hello, thank you so much for joining, and because of that, you have early access to this video earlier than the others. Okay? And then, by the way, one final announcement. I'll have my first ever YouTube live stream, and that is going to happen for free, just for now, while the members are still pretty low in number. But I plan to do it weekly, and I plan to do it every Sunday, 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Philippine time. Okay, so to those of you who would want to, see this, so what's going to happen? Well, I'm going to be playing, and I'm going to be feeding my cats, and that's going to be nice. And then to those of you who are there, I can also answer questions if you like about cats, or like if you want shout out, so that can happen also. So that's going to be this Sunday, 11 a.m., 11:30, October 25. Okay, so that's all we have for today. So thank you so much for joining this episode, and I'm going to see you soon. So bye-bye, and see you on Sunday for the live stream. Bye-bye.